Hi again, everybody, and welcome to TV 15 Muskogee Rougher Football. I'm Bill Huddleston, along with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. It seems like it's been an eternity since you were last on the field, but oh, what a feeling it was in the big win at McAllister. A shutout by the defense, and then the offense doing its job.
It was a good win for us, especially coming off a tough loss to Midwest City. Just again, good effort on both sides of the ball. Special teams was solid as well. We did have the one punt return touchdown called back again, not for anything that's a bad block, but it's just a different block this year. Can't lead with the shoulder, you got to lead with the hands, and so that's something that everybody's having to get used to. But other than that, it's a pretty flawless game for us.
Roughers had that week off, and while most coaches and teams just like to keep the ball rolling, and I know that was really your opinion going into this off week a year ago, it came at the right time because of injuries and that old sickness bug that got.
Yeah, we had a little virus bug that went in throughout even the coaching staff. On Wednesday I did something that I hadn't done in 25 years of coaching. We had to cancel practice. We had about 17 kids out, including my defensive coordinator, and so we just took time to, we have the disinfectant we use all the time over there for stuff, but we just kind of cleaned up our locker room even more to try to get what little bug that was out, and came back on Thursday and Friday and had great practices, and then got ready for Bentonville on Saturday, and we've started getting ready for Bentonville West yesterday, and it's good, and we worked on ourselves last Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and because we still have plenty to get better at on ourselves, and I think, and we switched some things up once again on the offensive line. We've got some things that we've played with that we think is going to help us out in the long run.
Well, we'll see what those changes will be about. Talk more specifically about this week's opponent, Bentonville West, a little later on in our program. Coach was all smiles after the game, but our next guest is going to be a young man that smiles no matter where he is. I wonder, Coach, do you think Speedy, Deontay Crutchfield, smiles in his sleep?
There's a good chance of it. He probably does, has pleasant dreams.
He certainly does. Well, he certainly had some big moments in the last outing against McAllister. We'll talk with number 2, Deontay Crutchfield, when our TV Rougher Football show continues after this timeout. Welcome back on TV 15. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. Rafe, this guy in between us, I mean, he always has a smile on his face, but in the last game, I don't know if he was excited about going out to take a spot before the snap or if he was smiling when he crossed the goal line. Well,
Speedy, as we like to refer him to, Deontay Crutchfield, he's been a dandy for us the last couple of years on our JV and got some playing time. Had a big catch against Bixby last year, but his growth in our program has just been remarkable, and it's paying dividends this year for us and him. Had a great night the other night or 2 weeks ago down there at McAllister. Had over 200 and I think 82 yards of receiving and 3 touchdowns. Had a fourth one almost in there. Got down to the 1 yard line. So he had a great night, and we expect great things out of Speedy this year.
Now, Coach keeps calling him Speedy, and that is his team-given name. It is Deontay Crutchfield. He does wear number 2 when the Roughers take the field each and every Friday night. Hey, this is a senior go-round for you. How excited about this season are you, Speedy, knowing what lies ahead?
I'm very excited.
Now, last couple of weeks ago at McAllister, was it a call play prior to the touchdown passes, or was that something that just was a eye communication between you and Jacob Medrano?
Me and Jacob had this thing going on where he give me a signal or something, and we go off there.
Don't give that signal away. So
yeah, we don't want to give the signal away between Speedy and his quarterback. Now, you were so wide open, I said, you're still running. And I even said he could go all the way. He did go all the way 3 different times. Speedy, you're also an outstanding member of the Muskogee High School track team. How does that track training that you did this past spring, including the medals that you and your teammates won at the state championships, how does that carry over to helping you as a wide receiver?
It's helping me a lot, actually. It's helping my speed get faster and better.
Now, Coach, I know you're not a big video game guy, but this guy right here enjoys playing the game of Madden. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, I know you compete sometimes against your teammates, and it's a very spirited and probably a very loud competition. Am I right, when you guys get together?
Yep.
Now, what's your favorite play to call when it's Madden versus Deontay Crutchfield?
Well, I like to run the halfback screen because usually people blitz the linebackers. So go ahead and hit him with something sneaky.
So, Coach, I guess he's kind of maybe want to call his own play.
Well, we've got one for him in there. It makes it's a little tougher when there's guys coming at you to catch that middle screen. So we've got one for him. He's going to have to catch it someday and go.
Now, tell me, what is the exact color of the hair up here on top? Do you have a particular color that you?
Oh, this is blonde.
Just blonde. Well, just blonde with blind speed, because if he gets in the open, there's not going to be anybody catch him. Deontay Crutchfield, Coach, and I and all the Rougher fans know him as number 2, Speedy Deontay Crutchfield. He's our guest here on TV 15. Back with more after this timeout. Back on TV 15, Bill Huddleston with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. And Coach, the bye week is gone. I think you won that game by 21-0 score.
Yeah, we spanked by pretty good.
Now you've got to focus, though, on a team that's been spanking their opponents, Bentonville West, a ball club that was all sophomores and juniors a year ago, and even mixed in with some freshmen, and didn't have the season, even though they did make the 7A playoffs in Arkansas a year ago, but now have started much faster. Bentonville West, coached by Brian Pratt.
Well, Coach Pratt, we've had, again, he's an old Rougher. Also been down at McAllister, what he's most noted for, and had some great teams, played against him in a state championship game in 2013. Great coach, and good friend. And last year we went over there and things got out of hand in a hurry. We got up on them. They didn't have their quarterback. He got hurt in the Central game because last year he was kind of the running game for them, and he got hurt. He was disciplining his great receiver that he has this year that's got offers from Arkansas and everybody. So it's a different team we're going to face, again, a year older. And then Bentonville's such a hotbed for movement right now as far as growth that they've got a linebacker and his brother that's a corner that moved in. Their tailback is a move in, and they've got 2 offensive linemen that are move ins. And so it's a total different team than what we saw last year. They're ranked 5th in Class 7A in Arkansas right now and 8th in there. They have a little power poll over there, and they're 8th in it. So a much different team than what we saw last year. 3 of our scores, if you remember last year, was a punt return, a fumble recovery, and a pick 6. So we had 21 non-offensive touchdowns or points in that game last year. So again, totally different. And our kids, they saw it yesterday whenever we started watching the film. They realized that it's not the same team we faced last year, even though it's all the same kids are still on that team. There's a lot of new faces for them and who they're playing. And as far as the quarterback and the Jackson kid at receiver, those are 2 of the best position kids that we'll see all year long. The receiver, like I said, he's got offers from everywhere, and he's just a junior. And their quarterback, to me, is by far the best passer. And this year they're not running him a lot with the run game because they do have the tailback that moved in that's so fast. But he has got the escapability of when he can scramble and he can take off at any point in time. So for our defense, it'll be as big a challenge as we'll face this year because what they do so well is where we're still getting better at.
Well, Rafe, this will be the final non-district matchup for you. Are there certain things that you and the members of the coaching staff want to get accomplished in a ball game like this against Bentonville West, in addition to a win that'll prepare you for the stretch run and district title chase that'll get started in a hurry next week?
Yeah. First and foremost, we got to stay healthy. We're starting to get some of our guys back, Blasting games back from having the broke rib, and so we get him back. Devin Harris is getting closer all the time to getting back. So we're getting healthier, but we want to stay that way going into district play. The other thing is just cleaning up things and getting better at where we felt like our deficiencies were. The offensive line we've got to get better at. That's a whole new unit. We've played around with it here for close to a month by the time we start district play. And then our secondary, even though we've got a couple of returning starters there, we've got them in some different positions with John going to a corner, and Devin we're still even thinking about as a corner. We're just messing around with. We've got to get better in those 2 specific spots for us to have a long playoff run. And when our secondary and our offensive line gets cohesive and ready to go, that's all things that's going to make us a better football team.
Well, the Roughers will get their final non-district test this Friday night. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Muskogee Creek Nation Field Indian Bowl. If you can't be there for some unexplainable reason, be sure to tune in to Rougher.tv and follow the action. We'll be on with our pregame countdown to kickoff starting at 6:30. And also, we're adding a radio broadcast to this week. It'll be on the Sports Animal 97.1 FM. So, Coach, everybody's going to be watching or listening, whether they're on radio or on TV. Now it's just time for the guys to go out and do their job.
Well, and I think they will. I think they're looking forward to the challenge, and they know what a great team we're going to be facing this week, and that gets us rolling into district play.
Well, with the win, Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot. to at least recite the words to On Muskogee next week. Don't have to sing, but just to be able to recite the words.
Sounds great.
All right. For Rafe Watkins, I'm Bill Huddleston. Thanks for tuning in to this chapter of Rougher Football here on TV 15. And remember, as always, it's a great day to be a Rougher.